When is the Liberal Party in this country going to wake up to itself and cut ties with their miserable old ghost, Malcolm Turnbull? How they consider this loser even a valid member of a Conservative party defies everything that comes out of his mouth, especially since he was given the boot. Everyone who knows anything about politics knows what Turnbull is trying to do. He's trying every way possible to bring down the government that turned on him. But you see, as they say, revenge proves its own executioner. And it's now becoming embarrassing for him, constantly popping up on his favourite media, the ABC of course, to attack the Prime Minister's every single move and jamming his climate change nirvana down everyone's throat. Oh, almost forgot, how nasty was his Machiavellian attempts to poison his former Finance Minister Matthias Cormann's job application to run the OECD. What kind of sour menace would be so deliberately evil? Well, the answer is Malcolm Turnbull. And the latest is the Liberal Party's greenest New South Wales MP, Matt Kean, has named Turnbull as the chair of the Net Zero Emissions and Clean Economy Board. Only Kean could ever still rate this bloke.
Talk to him a lot.
I talk to a lot of people a lot, but yes, I have a great relationship with Malcolm. I think he's one of the outstanding thinkers in Australian public life, and I try and leverage lots of good people, get their ideas, get their inputs, learn from their experiences and mistakes, and Malcolm's certainly been a great friend to me.
What a tag team. And even before they've designed the letterhead for this new agency, Turnbull is already planning some kind of scorched earth policy and jobs. On his favourite media again yesterday, the ABC, he called for a moratorium on all new coal mines in New South Wales.
Do you agree with this call from the Australia Institute for a freeze or moratorium on coal mining approvals in New South Wales?
Absolutely. I think it is out of control. There are mines being approved which would have capacities vastly in excess of the demand for coal that exists.
No, it's called supply and demand. And wasn't he the one that said at one stage, coal is dead, there's no demand? Well, right now, the industry has 23 new coal mine applications waiting for approval just in New South Wales. Now, as an old merchant banker, even he'd know what that demand means. Businesses recognise the critical need for baseload power in Australia, and our highly efficient Australian thermal coal is unbeatable in that regard. Now, Turnbull might have some kind of renewable dream, but he's got no technology or existing system to replace coal. And it can't be done for decades. And then, in that interview, he decided to pull the environmental heartstrings, whinging about mining companies in the upper Hunter of New South Wales devastating the landscape.
There is an extraordinary devastation of the landscape in the upper Hunter.
What rubbish. That image is 50 years old. Mines have an extremely small footprint in New South Wales. They use less than 0.1% of land. 0.1%. Agriculture uses 78%. And every single mining lease is granted on the proviso they have a plan and a strict budget to eventually rehabilitate the land. That's how they're passed. He doesn't know what he's talking about, or does he know what he's talking about, but he wants to be one of those green extremists to exaggerate to make their point. But by approving Turnbull's new cushy green roll, maybe this is exactly what the New South Wales government is on about. Maybe they do have plans to stop all new coal mine applications. Could you imagine? Not a good look coming into an Upper Hunter by-election in particular. They went ahead with their own renewable energy plan without a word exchange with the federal government. And now they've appointed Turnbull blindsiding the feds once again. But I think the communication breakdown will be mutual. The Federal Energy Minister Angus Taylor is no friend of Malcolm Turnbull's. And the chance of those two working together on some kind of zero emission plan is about as likely as Malcolm praising the Morrison government.